Hello, everyone. You're listening to the LockingYourSuccess.com Trading Performance Podcast, where it's all about real traders, real problems, and real coaching. Today is episode number 25, and I'd like to talk about trading results. As many of you may be aware, I've been working closely with traders for about 15 years now, and early on in my career, I put together a non-subjective market-neutral trading strategy called VM3 that was basically for my more risk-averse students. Basically, this was a monthly trading strategy that was done the same way every month, regardless of what's going on in the marketplace. In other words, everybody's supposed to be doing the same thing. And at the time, I figured, hey, if everybody's doing the same thing, everybody's going to get the same results, right? It only makes sense. But what I discovered after a couple of years was something quite different. Because when I went back and I looked at the trading results, we found that I was getting good results with my demonstration trade, but when I looked at the students' personal returns, they were all over the place. We had like 20% of the students doing as good or better than what I was doing. And we had about probably 60% of the students that were kind of like break even with their results. And then we had about 20% of the people who were just doing horribly. And after seeing this, naturally, I had to ask them, are you following the plan? Because everybody's getting different results. How can that be? How can I have like 100 traders following the same plan, entering the same asset on the same day with the same adjustment rules every single month, and people getting vastly different results? I mean, of course, we're going to get different results, due to execution and stuff like that, but the results are going to be similar over time, or at least one would expect. We're all following the same trading plan. So since we weren't getting the same results, then obviously certain people are taking different actions than other people. And we know this because actions determine our results. If we were all actually doing the same thing and taking the same actions and making the same decisions, we'd all have similar results. So I started to dig a little bit deeper into the concept. I said, well, if we're getting different results, people are taking different actions. Why are people taking different actions? What is it that determines the actions that these traders are taking? Now, most people believe that in trading, if we're following a trading plan, that the trading plan actually determines what we do. But that's not true, because the traders that we experimented with, they all had the same plan, but they didn't take the same actions, meaning that there's a disconnect somewhere between the trading plan and what the traders were actually doing. So let's investigate that. Why were these traders taking different actions? Well, as human beings, why do we take any action? Realize that from an evolutionary standpoint, we have all evolved to seek pleasure, avoid pain, and to conserve energy. In other words, we are predisposed to doing nothing. Therefore, we will rest until we believe that doing something will either avoid pain or create pleasure for us. That's where the metaphor about the donkey being led around by the carrot and the stick comes along, right? And this is also why our primal drives, like eating and having sex, produce very pleasurable sensations within our bodies, so that we'll get off our asses and actually do something in order to eat and reproduce. And as a result, survive and perpetuate our genes going forward, right? So it's also why we have painful emotions, such as stress and fear and anxiety. These emotions are there to motivate us, so that we pay attention and we take action when we're in danger. My point being, the reason we do or don't do anything is because of a combination of the way we feel now and the way we think we'll feel by doing or not doing certain things. The reason we eat is because of the way we feel. The reason we do all sorts of crazy things to stop ourselves from losing money or to make money is because of the way we think it's going to make us feel. And as you can see, the human animal is driven to take action through feelings and emotions. Now realize that not only do emotions compel us to take action, but they also determine the type of action we're going to take. This is because we have different mind maps and different decision trees for each different emotional state that we might be in. Meaning we often filter information in a way that allows us to logically rationalize the action that the emotion wants us to take. This is why it seems logical to make the decision to jump out of a trade when the pressure's on, but later on, when we're in a different state, we go back and we reevaluate that decision, and it seems completely irrational. You say, why the hell did I do that? That's so stupid. In other words, if we were to take any specific fact, our interpretation of that fact and the resulting logical decision about what action to take or not to take is going to be very different if we're feeling insecure and fearful than it will be if we're feeling confident and abundant, for example. Realize that between the factual elements of our situation and our decisions about what to do about our situation is a very wide variety or range of interpretation that will lead to drastically different decisions and therefore drastically different outcomes, as is evidenced by our traders' results. So the reason our traders got different results is because they were taking different actions. And the reasons that the traders were taking different actions is because they were feeling different emotions. Which leads to our next question, which is, why are the traders feeling different emotions? They're all in the same situation. So let's go deeper. What is it that creates a person's emotions? Well, the thing that creates a person's emotions is going to be their thoughts. So for example, we might have one trader that looks at a situation and thinks, oh no, the market's going up and my trade's going to lose. And that means that I'm never going to make it as a trader, and that I'm no good, and I'm going to look bad in front of everybody or whatever, and it's going to be a disaster. Right? They have these crazy, crazy, disastrous thoughts, and those types of thoughts are naturally going to result in insecurity and fear. And that insecurity and fear is naturally going to put you into a certain mind map or a certain emotion. And therefore, you're going to pay attention to certain things, and you're going to make certain projections, which are going to prompt you to take certain actions. And if those actions are from a place of fear, then more often than not, it's going to lead to poor decisions and poor actions and poor results over time. On the other hand, we may have the exact same situation, but another trader might think that, oh, things are going a little against me right now. But that means that the market's likely to pull back. And if it pulls back, I'm going to make a bunch of money. This is going to naturally create a very different emotion in this trader, putting the trader into a different type of mind map where he pays attention to different things and therefore makes different decisions and takes different actions. And subsequently, the results are going to be drastically different. Now, you may say that both traders had the same plan, so they should be doing the same thing. And initially, I thought the same. But realize that no matter how you trade and no matter how firm or tight your rules are, there are always areas of the plan that are open to interpretation. There are always gray areas where you could make one decision one way or another way, depending on your interpretation of exactly what's happening in the marketplace at any given time. And it's those critical decisions that often determine whether a trader is going to be successful over time or he's not. So as you can see, your thoughts are extremely important. But tell me, what is it that determines your thoughts? Is it the situation? No. We had two traders in the same situation. They have completely different thoughts. What determines your thoughts are your beliefs. So if your beliefs determine your thoughts, and your thoughts determine your emotions, and your emotions dictate your actions, and your actions produce your results, then the best way to change your results is to change your beliefs. In fact, you'll find that if you're getting poor results as a trader, and you're essentially using the same strategies as somebody else who's getting really good results, you'll find that the reason for the difference in results comes down to the difference in beliefs. I mean, if you've been at this trading game for a while and you find yourself struggling to become profitable and you notice you've been jumping around from one trading strategy to the next, strategies that seem to be working well for others, then I encourage you to take a look at those other traders and determine not the strategy they're using, but determine what their beliefs and thoughts are. What are their beliefs around trading? Because it's those beliefs that are keeping them in the emotional state where they can make beneficial decisions to get good trading results. Therefore, I suggest you adopt the beliefs of that trader, the beliefs that will lead you to the thoughts that will lead to the emotions that will allow you to make these good decisions, and take the best actions at the critical times needed to produce extraordinary results. And that is what I have for you today. I encourage you to visit us at lockingyoursuccess.com and check out our pro membership so that you too can break through barriers and make quantum leaps in your trading. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Trading Performance podcast. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to check out my Trading Performance membership, where we take all this material to the next level. We study it and we apply it to bring our trading performance to peak levels. Simply go to tradingperformancepodcast.com. That's one word, tradingperformancepodcast.com, to receive information on how you too can become involved and improve your trading. I look forward to seeing you there.